Greetings and welcome to the Saroth the Mage experiment. Been a long time since I've done a live stream. Thanks, Scott. I'll get onto that question in a minute. And thanks, Oswald, for showing up. I am the Thoth person in the chat. So it's just us. But I'll do it like the traditional way, like I always used to do it. Gothic Proclivity, welcome, sir. Okay, that's the formalities over with. So, welcome, everyone. Just a quick live stream tonight. I thought after reaching the landmark, Brandon Young, good to see you, man. After reaching the landmark of 1,000 subscribers, so doesn't that mean you can like start sending money over live chat? That's the only reason I came on tonight. So I'll be very upset if you can't send money. I'm only joking. I don't want your money. I've got loads now that I'm working. Thank you, Scott, for asking. The job is grueling. It's like 3 13-hour shifts a week, but more if I want them. But at the moment, I just don't want them because it's like, it's quite heavy going, I have to say. It's a completely different level of crazy than I'm used to. But, you know, social media policy and all that, so I won't go into it too much. So I just wanted to give a quick update. I am alive and well. You maybe saw my recent interview with Julian Vane. I think it went really well. Julian was fantastic. I had a lot of stuff prepared. Oh, Georgius, how's it going, man? Nice to see you all. I had lots of interesting stuff prepared, as ever, but then I never get around to saying it because my guests are so brilliant and I was going to say verbose. That's not the right word. So articulate that I sometimes just think, oh, I'll just let them. You know, the interviews are about them and not about me. These shows are more about me. So yeah, it's all going very well. I won't hang around for too long tonight. I just wanted to say hi. I'm still alive. I've got some good shows lined up for the festives. My next guest will be a very talented, up-and-coming. I mean, he's been going for a long time, but he's recently been published by, I think, Hadean Press. He's a Goetic magician, Rob Ryder Hill. So I think I'm interviewing him on the 17th of December. And then I'm going to have old Jake Stratton-Kent on again for hopefully a more sort of... I'd like to know more about the man, Jake Stratton-Kent. He is a bit of a legend, especially in these sceptred isles. You know, he's the most infamous necromancer in Europe, perhaps, possibly the world. So that'll be a good interview as well. So who else have I got? I've got a guy, Derek Hunter. Some of you may not have heard of. He's an American chap. He wrote a book called Love Chaos, and then I think he's got a further book to that, which he's apparently sending me signed copies of, which I'm very keen for. I'm trying to build up a library for Solar Star's young son. He seems to be a gifted magician, and he's only 7 years old. A magician in the making. I'll have to put my glasses on to read chat. So yeah, I'd like to pass on a huge occult library signed, so that he knew that his uncle Steve was a greatly famous and admired man in his time. I'll have to put on my glasses to read chat. So who's here? Paul Weston or Aaron Cheek? No, I haven't. Good to see you here, Gothic Proclivity. Yeah, that tune was just, honestly, with this Chaosilator, it's just so easy to make music. I love it. So I was going to read you a review of Julian Vane's recent band, Getting Higher. It was a lecture that he was due to give to Oxford University. Oh, Nine, man, I haven't seen you in such a long time, and I almost asked Solar Star what had happened to you today, but then I forgot, and I was like, well, wouldn't it be great if Nine showed up tonight in my head? And there you are. So is I'm not like asking you to send money, but is there a, because when you get to 1,000 subscribers, there's supposed to be a thing that you can send little donations, and I can't see it, but maybe I can't. Is it there? Just tell me. Don't send any money. I don't need it. I'm doing okay now that I'm working. Yes, well, that's the one I was going to read for you now. There is no super chat option. God damn it. So what's the point of getting to 1,000 subs then? Derek Hunter. Ah, yes. Yeah, Derek Hunter did actually. Yeah, excellent. Thank you, Oswald. So I did say I was going to do a live stream completely sober. I am completely sober. This is my first beer. But I just, it's not a live stream unless you drink a little bit. So I wonder when the super chat option comes on. That's what I was excited about. I thought I was going to be showered in cash tonight. Obviously not. Hey, Lisa F. Nice to see so many old friends still turn up. Because it must have been, I really did. I kind of lost interest in not only social media, but kind of lost interest in Magick for a while. I've just been so trying desperately to adjust after being completely unemployed for lockdown, to adjust to like 13-hour shifts in a rather strange and somewhat hostile work environment. But it's okay. I have a few allies. So, yeah, cheers, everyone. And I'm definitely, for my proper celebration of 1,000 subs, I'm going to have like a StreamYard. I've kind of figured out StreamYard. It's quite simple. But I'm going to invite a few people on from our past. What's Scott McDonald saying about any similarities between that and the Douglas Rushkoff book? I've never heard of the Douglas Rushkoff book about getting high without drugs, but I presume they're similar techniques. Because, how many are there for getting high without drugs, which I fully endorse. Getting high with drugs can be a little bit dangerous for me as an ex-addict who's still, I have to wear a mask for pretty much the whole 13-hour shift. Yep, I do. Yeah, and this is something I want to broaden the channel a little bit, because a lot of the time, I'm not an expert in magic. I'm someone that's interested in magic. My guests tend to be experts in magic, and I'm not doing much at the moment at all. I'd like to broaden out to be more about, the stuff that I am expert about, which would be drug addiction, recovery. There's a big thing in the British news at the moment about what's it called again? County lines drug dealing, which hit Aberdeen and my group of friends particularly hard, which is drug gangs from England, London, well, Liverpool, Manchester, all the big cities, and they kind of target the smaller, unprotected cities. And it wasn't, we were all consenting adults. We knew exactly what we were doing, but apparently some less ethical. I think we got quite a good group, actually, our Jamaican friends. But a lot of what I'm hearing is that they're using children and, people that are really in desperate straits to, run their drugs, and it gets quite nasty. So I've always wanted to write a book about that, but it's like, I don't know if I could. It's so close to the bone, it might trigger a relapse or something. Does the book go into fasting? It's just the band lecture is just a tiny little pamphlet. It's literally a lecture that he was going to give to Oxford University, much like Aleister Crowley 90 years ago, and it was deemed to be too subversive. So it's just a little pamphlet, but it's very good. I really like Julian Vane. His thinking is as close to mine as you can get in the modern Magick scene, I think. Yeah. So I shall read the little review. When he suggested doing a review, I was like, oh, I've never done a book review in my life. I wouldn't know how to go about it, but this is what I wrote it. So here we go. Julian Vane is clearly a dangerous man. His lecture, Getting Higher Without Drugs, which has been printed in pamphlet form, has been deemed too subversive to be delivered to the fine young minds of the Oxford Psychedelic Society, and has now earned a nice red band stamp on its front cover, which, as we know, somewhat like a parental advisory sticker on a CD, will only enhance its reputation among rebellious students, occultniks, and open-minded inquirers everywhere. In this slim tract, Vane dares to suggest that not only is getting high a natural, even necessary part of the human experience, but it doesn't require so-called illegal drugs either. In a few short pages, Vane suggests many techniques to expand consciousness and enable healing, which are drawn from his background as an occultist, psychedelic experiencer, and teacher. He discusses the merits of both inhibitory, catabolic practices like candle gazing, flotation chambers, and motionless meditation, as well as excitatory methods, anabolic, such as drumming, dancing, piercing, and sexual edging. All of these practices, using only the body and mind of the subject, will produce profound, sometimes scarily tangible results as quickly as a dose of acid or E, without the risk of bad doses or arrest. Oxford and Cambridge universities have long been where the educated elites have gained their degrees and gone on to important positions in society. Now, this is a bit of research I did. Oxford alone has produced 27 of 54 heads of government since Robert Walpole, who is in the middle of the 18th century. While our current political class still fiddles while the early 21st century burns, where environmental collapse threatens us and a global pandemic rages, perhaps now, more than ever, we need the kind of healing laid out in this little gem. Research and discussion on the vast, uncharted territory that psychedelic substances and techniques open up to us are already promising a revelation in approaches to healing trauma and abuse. It should give us hope that dangerous men are rarely kept silent for long. Steve Ray, The Sarotham Age Experiment. So I was quite pleased with that. I basically did it when I got home in like half an hour today. Thank you, Michelle. Nice to see you here. So yeah, I really should write more. because I can do it when I really try hard, you know. So how's everyone doing? Wow, we've got lots of people in. How are you, Michelle? Yes, thank you. Thank you. 1,000. It took me 2.5 years to get to 1,000 subscribers. You know, my channel is not the most professional, but that's not what it's about. Good. Glad to hear it, Michelle. So that's pretty much it, really. I just wanted to check in, say hi to everyone. You know, I'm not a great live streamer. I prefer the recorded interviews, although I don't edit because I can't edit. So what you're seeing is basically live stuff that's just recorded. It takes away the danger of me being put in front of a microphone with my nerves. I do get nervous, you know. I could read a little thing I've been working on. Gorgeous mic, yeah. It's the standard Yeti Pro, I think. No, it's not even a Yeti Pro. It's just a Yeti Blue. Yeah, Yeti Blue. But it's like it's been a loyal servant. It is glowing, yes. It's glowing with the spirit of Saroth the Mage. You know what, Scott? I was doing them so faithfully until I got this job. And when I got this job, everything just kind of collapsed because I'm finding it really difficult I've always found it difficult to keep up routines. I think that's why I'm such a unsuccessful magician in many ways, is I lack discipline. But, you know, I hope to get back to it because I felt tremendous benefits. I really did. It really does. What the 5 Tibetans, 9, it's a series of kind of yogic exercises. I am an Aquarius, yes, absolutely I am. I think I'm a very typical Aquarius. I'm Leo rising. I think my moon's in Capricorn, I can't remember. So I'll maybe read a little bit of this other piece that I was playing around with today. It's not very, the first few paragraphs are okay, but then it kind of melts towards the end. So I'll read you what I've got anyway. And you can tell how long ago this was written because the Jack Grail glitch bottle episode was just hot off the presses when I wrote this. So it's kind of my ideas on language and magic. After listening to a recent glitch bottle featuring Jack Grail, a man with a beautiful, melodious speaking voice, who's a devotee of Hecate, and who gave a wonderful example of how he sings the long, evocatory strings of vowels found in the ancient magical texts of the PGM, that's the Greek magical papyri, it got me thinking about the centrality of spoken and written language in magical work. In Genesis, now I don't believe in Genesis and the God and all that, but it's interesting how spirituality has always been tied to these holy books. That's all I'm saying here. In Genesis, we read, "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God." John 1:1. I might guess it was the development of spoken words by pre-Homo sapiens sapiens that enlarged the brain, and along with the ability to create fire, allowing cooked food, prevention of predation from animals, etc., another important element of magic, fire, that created modern human beings. I told you it's not going to finish yet. If we believe in the possibility of evolution beyond our current state of primate development, our time-binding faculties, now time-binding's a thing I could go on about for a whole show. It's a Robert Anton Wilson Leary concept, I think. In fact, no, it was Korzybski, Science and Sanity, I think. Burroughs used to talk about it a lot. Time binding means the ability to pass on knowledge through writing, basically. Our time binding faculties must play a key role. Written language allows each generation access to the entirety of knowledge that preceded it, as long as we can read the writing, of course. It is no surprise, then, that the mercurial gods of words and writing hold a special place in the pantheons of deities for magicians. Thoth, or Thoth, creator of many branches of knowledge, law, philosophy, religion, and science. His consort Seshat was goddess of writing, keeper of books, patron of libraries. Hermes, Sarasvati, the Hindu goddess of language. Ogma, Celtic god of education, genius, eloquence, magic, language, and the inventor of the Ogham runic script. Writing is the word made flesh. It solidifies thought and concretizes ideas. We quantize and mediate the external world with the words we choose to describe it. No wonder the belief that spells, spoken, or better, sung, can affect and create reality. The barbarous names are, in the PGM, often or always, strings of vowels, which at first seem incongruous and baffling. There were 7 Greek vowels, that prime magical number. In a fascinating essay called In Praise of Nonsense by Patricia Cox Miller, we see the author investigating the magical power of words in late antiquity. Quote, from the perspective of our fanciers of the alphabet, invoking God shatters human words, breaking them into their elemental parts. Indeed, language is sometimes so shattered that only its most basic elements, the vowels, remain. And further, quote, the alphabet is a kind of elemental grammar within which the entire cosmos presents itself in human, earthly terms as the symbolic body of the essential human being. Now, I'm not quite sure what I meant by this next sentence. Spoken words developed before writing and became a metaphor for any kind of sense-making order, as did numbers. Plato quotes Socrates as saying in Phaedrus that letters, like painting, I'm not going to quote that because it's boring. So writing, like the trickster aspects of Hermes and mercurial spirits generally, is somewhat untrustworthy. It can deceive in representation. Like the magician in his god mask, it imitates the thing it wishes to represent, thus partaking of its power. The persistent occult idea is that writing and language, symbols and numbers do contain some of the power of the thing they mimic. And by various methods, we can further our knowledge of these abstract forces by imitating their attributes. We can also interrogate texts and so-called holy books themselves and force them to answer us in a way Socrates denied. The cut-up is a recent method of making inanimate language give up new meanings. Far older techniques, like Kabbalistic gematria, serve the same function. And that's as far as I got with that. But it's probably worth pursuing. So yeah, I am gonna try and write more because I think it orders my thoughts. A lot of when I'm trying to think about magic, I just get this big cloud of nothingness and nothing makes any sense. So Michelle Ambry says, that is why discipline won't work for you in the same way as some other signs. You got to learn into the Aquarian thing. You are all the best, but you really don't like repetition. No, I don't like anything that kind of, I don't know. I just seem to flit from thing to thing without really giving anything much care or attention. So, chaps, that's probably about it. I might play out with some music Thank you very much for showing up. Thank you for your support of this channel over the past 2.5 years. You know, it'll grow slowly. It's not a huge major thing in my, you know, I've got lots of other things going on. I've got my love for the gorgeous solar star who may be lurking in the background somewhere. I love you, baby. And I've got work, and I've got recovery, and all these other things going on. But I really am looking forward to letting you guys hear my very intelligent and brilliant guests that I'll be getting on. I want to have more guests, and I'll just keep rolling. Sometimes I'll disappear for a while. So that's all from me. Thank you very much. I'll play out with some music.